Whoa. Hold on. We're already in game? Yeah, apparently. I'm lucky it took this long. And we're already getting this game nice and heated, so let's do the introductions. In the top right, going for that pool gas combo, it is Leenock. In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, it is Dark. Going for that hatch gas pool. Maybe not the absolute greediest build we've ever seen. It was an 18-17. It was 17. Was it 18-17? Actually, might have been. Uh-oh. Point is, it's not ideal. And Leenock is going for that full-on, all-in speed plus Baneling combination. Something that Dark's not quite going to realize yet, as the Overlord is not across the map, so... And that's exactly what Leenock is counting on. They know these maps rather well by this point. So the Lings, all of them, circumvent the vision of the Overlord. And he could even, if he really wanted to keep appearances up, hold on to these two Lings, which is exactly what he does. And that is really scary stuff. Dark is going to get to maybe like here and then start to look for the creep spread, and then around here he's going to realize there ain't no creep spread. There are, however, Lings ready to attack into his hatchery. Into that natural. Maybe could have even waited for the Banelings to morph in, but those should be the Banelings. He sees the hatchery now. This is that kind of trickier Baneling attack where you do get the hatchery, you don't get the third Overlord? Second Overlord? Whatever it is. You don't go past 22 supply on the cap. So you can actually get the hatchery. And at times it can even be a little deceiving. Like, this might make Dark think there aren't Banelings, but there absolutely are. And, oh, no, this is exactly what I want to have happen. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, you can hold the line a little bit longer if you drone hold in front of the queens, but not if there are Banelings. Yeah. Alright, so the queens go down, but Dark did take this seriously with the spine crawler on the main base. That is going to save his life temporarily, but will it save him the game? Leenock is going to go back into droning probably at some point. Probably. But first he'd have to add on that Overlord, so until we see that Overlord, or I guess actually the hatchery will finish. There you go. He doesn't have to. And he hasn't gotten into the actual drone count yet, so he wants to go ahead and do that. He wants to make sure that he kills the hatchery, and then ideally on getting on top of the drones. And then he can think about the macro game, but it's all in, baby. It's barely affording that queen from the main base, actually. Grabs the hatchery. There go the drones now. And while Dark is still ahead 6 drones. Oops. Leenock will have the more efficient mining in just a little while here. That's a lot of more Banelings than I expected. A lot more than I expected. Like maybe 2 or 4. But to go all the way up into 7? If Dark had his Banelings ready, this could have really backfired. But you know what? Dark doesn't have his Banelings ready. His spine crawler did move forward, and his queens did a decent job of holding the line. Now his drones are under threat, though. 2 more Banelings are available, but they're getting one shot with the spine crawler. This one will do a decent amount of splash, but not enough Lings are left over. If Leenock was reinforcing with Lings, that's when suddenly 10 drones go down in just a flash. But he wasn't. Only a couple more coming in here. Nice split off against the Baneling. If you could get these 3, if you get 4 Lings on top of the drone line, he actually does a ton of damage. But they're already regenerating in that health, and now Leenock has to worry about his own defense. 10 Lings are now on the way after he got all the way up to 21 workers, so he is ahead in every regard if he can hold on, which I think he can. This is not that many Lings. He does temporarily lose mining in the natural base, but that is okay. Banelings are now done, and Dark's probably not going to find too much success, but it might be the case where he thinks he has to go all in. He wouldn't necessarily be wrong. He did have a couple more drones, but now back into Lings and Banelings. Good control so far from both players. And Leenock is taking this super seriously. More Banelings are on the way. The worst case scenario here for him is running out of Banelings. If he's down on Lings, that's still okay. As long as he has enough Banelings. Almost went for the 2-for-2 trade. Oh my god, the splits. Ooh, that was decent control from Leenock there. He almost traded 3-for-2 for a second. But really good stuff. 2 more banelings are still patrolling around for Dark, but they both have overlords over each other's reinforcement paths, so not going to be the case that Leenock overreacts to this. He does take a drone loss in the main, as there's no queen here to help out, and 2 drone losses. There was a little bit of a scuffle, I think, on this side of the map. Maybe a couple lings went for a scout, but that was not as important as this. But it ended up not being that important either, so with the 2 drones killed, we're talking, you know, very small differences now that Dark's back up to 21 workers. So it is something, but it's still not quite enough, as Leenock is now even adding on 4 more drones, so he's really going to have an economic lead. He's sending his banelings across the map, sorry, baneling, and whatever lings he has across the map, which feels like it won't do very much, but maybe hoping that lings are flooding across and this baneling gets a really nice hit. Otherwise, just going for the scout, which is going to be really difficult to do when there's a spine crawler in the main. And it's actually Leenock. Oh, no! No! Oh, the queen! No! He boxed the queen and when he spread his drones. That's a little awkward. But the spread on the drones is quite good. Wait. What? Oh, my god! No! Oh, Dark, you tricky lad. I didn't even see those on the main base. Shit. Damn. Okay, well, Leenock got bamboozled and I got bamboozled too. It also means that he got a scout, which I was about to talk about, but that's... that was really nice. Evening up the worker count here, but Leenock still going into more workers. Dark not quite as much. Still has quite a few lings. And finally has that natural back up and running. No one at third bases yet, but as you can see, Leenock, as Dark saw, Leenock's lair's already on the way, along with the Roach Warren. That Roach Warren was not placed down in the front, so I feel like Dark should already be a little suspicious of what that means. You know, if it's in the front, doesn't mean they can't go for a Nidus Room, but if it's in the front, maybe you could say, like, oh, they're going to go for macro. Without a wall, I don't know. I would be totally on guard against a Nidus, which is exactly what Leenock is doing. Also safeguarding his Nidus from being scouted with these banelings on the front lines. And Dark is going into +1 missile. He added on more drones. His Roach Warren is not quite done, but he should be saving larva, minerals, and whatever gas he can to make roaches. Unfortunately, gas being the main issue here, he never got the second gas, so he can't even make that many roaches. And he's going back into drones. Dark, oh no, he's dead. Oh yeah, that's a dead Zerg right there. No way. I mean, he tries to find it, but... okay. Really nice follow-up here for Leenock, who is already gaining an advantage here, there. XYZ place, despite a couple of cheeky banelings, and now is going to cement the victory. This is splash damage from the banelings. But what else does Dark have? He can't even afford... if he hadn't gone for +1 missile, he would have had more roaches, but even then, it's a little late there. So they would have been coming out like 2 from here, 2 from natural. Missed opportunity for a transfuse. There we go. That's a bit. Dark's gonna take the first loss, man. GG. Needs to get warmed up, needs to get back into the tournament spirit. No, I'm just kidding. Leenock's a very good Zerg player. He's proven time and time again that every time you try and count him out, including the time he said he was going to retire, you guys remember that? He'll just come back with a vengeance. Pretty cool game, number one, though. I really enjoy ZVZ, especially Korean ZVZ, which very, very rarely goes into, like, Roach versus Roach, blah, 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 blah. European Zergs still do find themselves playing a couple of passive Roach games, but, Koreans basically never. I think we're getting into the wrong map here, so... not starting quite yet. Going back to the breakfast talk here. I'm in a pretty fortunate position. My dad's a vegan. My family has been... my dad's a vegetarian for 40 years. And then my brother was vegetarian. I was vegetarian for a little while. My mom is very good about making meals. So I know I'm in a lucky position to be able to even eat vegan-esque. But once you adapt to it, once you get like a month down, it's really not that bad. If you could ban XYZ person, I don't have mod powers. I know. I used to. And then someone from up top was like, no, this is the main channel. Don't give her mod. I was like, oh, that was bad. I do still have VIP, though. Yeah. I'd asked them to also mod some people that I knew, so I knew I'd have, like, consistent mods in chat. That didn't happen either. I think there are some ESL mods, though, in chat. They're just quiet. Match should I get? Leenock versus Dark. And we are now in the right map. Port Alexander. I had to make that tweet so fast I didn't get to be fancy and put a bracket there too. Game number 2 in the top left, down a game. It is the blue Zerg Dark. In the bottom right as the red Zerg, it is Leenock. Didn't get much time to talk about these players because it got heated and very close very fast. The Leenock, as I summed up that last game, you know, he's a guy that you kind of count out and then he comes back and wins his GSL group or advances to the round of 8 or something and you're like, what the fuck? And he did. He at one point said he was going to retire and that was his last GSL qualifier, and then he made it in the GSL, and then he made it into the round of 16. I think he lost then, but I'm not sure. But the point is, he didn't retire, and this was like 1.5 years, 2 years ago. He still has that kind of just like everyone forgets about him for a while, and he doesn't have that great of performances, and then he comes back and it's like, no, I'm just going to 2-0 Dark casually or something like that. By the way, another interesting opener from Leenock is going to be an aggressive one, 17 along those lines. Point is, gas and pool before that hatchery, which is going to be difficult for Dark to scout. He would have to send in 2 lings to scout exactly how much gas has been taken and how quickly it's been taken. Otherwise, he'll just know it's a pool first based off the hatchery timing. But that's still, you know, the Overlord has to make it over there, so it's going to be a while. Yeah, so that's Leenock's story. Dark, a name perhaps you're more familiar with if you're up to date on StarCraft, is a big baller. He is one of the big names in Group B, perhaps even the biggest. As many people expect Maro to get first, maybe other people are saying no, Dark will get first. But the point is between those two. And then me, fanboys and fangirls and whatever. But the point is, if he does go down 0-2 to Leenock, that would be a strong start for a Red Zerg. It's, yeah, Dark versus Maro, probably the best match of the series. And, well, TLDR, Dark's really good. It would be kind of an upset, a little bit of an upset. So even though ZVZ is volatile, any mirror matchup is. I wouldn't say it's as volatile as like PvP, for instance. I actually think this is a matchup that if you're really good at it, and you're just in general really good at it. But there certainly are some shenanigans that can be done and tricky builds where you just have to go, okay, that was stupid. And last game was kind of one of them. This game certainly is another one. The only way you know this is on the way is if you get lings into the main base, or if you're going for a similarly timed ling flood. Now, the really important thing here is that Dark already has a Baneling nest on the way. If he had done a 3rd hatch in the Baneling nest, I think he's just dead. These 2 lings, I'm surprised Leenock let him scout that. That 10 seconds is a big difference. But he does get the scout a little bit earlier than the Overlord would have. And let's see if that affects this game. I think it will. Lings are on the way instead of maybe like 5 more drones. Banelings, as I said, very important timing, will allow him to morph those Banelings, and Leenock is going to be behind workers, behind a 3rd base. He needs to get some serious damage done, but the Banelings of Dark are already ready. And while they don't get amazing ling hits, oh, that one! That's game. GG. Good stuff. ZVZ is a great match, guys. Top tier StarCraft II play. I haven't seen that good of a baneling hit in a while, man. That was absolutely perfect. What are the results coming in here? Is this going to be one of those weird groups where there's like supposedly obvious people coming out and then they just bomb entirely? Is that what's going to happen today? No way. Did Marv really get 2-0'd? Jeez. I mean, Trap's a cool Protoss and all, but... that was a very fast 2-0. Okay. Lambo vs. Neeb is probably the most even in terms of, like, who do you predict? Like, you really wouldn't know. Otherwise, people would have predicted Maru, people would have predicted Dark. And those two are in question right now. Interesting. Well, we're all tied up, so it's possible that Dark still matches people's expectations. We do have to talk about map scores, though, eventually, so it's already a bit less than ideal for our now cheesy blue Zerg. Love it! In the bottom right, as the red Zerg, it is Leenock. In the top left, as the 12 pooling blue Zerg, it is Dark. Go for the gas, go for the gas, go for the gas. Do it. No, okay. So then just the pool. That's fine. He's been getting so much aggression towards him. It's about time that he sends the aggression out. But it won't be totally committed. Leenock is finally going for just a hatch first. And into probably gas pool. So Dark's looking for that canceled hatch or killed hatch. If everything went according to plan. What happens more often is just the drones die. Like, and I mean, let's say ideally like 6 drones die and Dark's gonna feel pretty damn good about that. But realistically, what we've seen as an anti-early pool defense, there's been a lot of cases where only like 2 or 3 drones die. There's a lot about the micro. Leenock's gonna miss the first lings. He will have his first indication of an early pool when they hop on top of his... Actually, Dark just has to go to the north like a tiny little bit here. Oh, he's not gonna bother. Okay, never mind. All I have to do is go around this and you can hide them. But he's not gonna, he doesn't care about hiding them. Gets there like half a second faster. These lings would have been scouted. Okay, so he knows a little bit more in advance, but that's more about a mental thing. You don't have anything else you can do here. You're preparing to pull the drones, and you want to do it kind of with lings popping out. And then you should be able to hold. If you hold without losing too many workers, then you're going to have faster speed. You're going to feel kind of confident about this game. But if you don't, you either lose a ton of drones or you lose the hatchery. That's exactly what Dark wants to have happen. So here come the drones. The lings have already done so much damage to the hatchery. He had to pull them up before the lings were ready to go. He already loses 2, but here comes some of the lings. Leenock is actually not going to be able to hold his hatchery because Dark is going for the kill. And he gets it. It could be a very risky maneuver to do that. If not enough of your lings are hitting it. If they're being chewed down too fast by the drones, or mowed down, I suppose, with the little drilly claws, then you can make a really big mistake by doing that. But in this case, probably going to be okay. Dark is going to be ahead on speed, actually. Leenock was... not going to be that much faster, like, in speed, as Dark was also gone for a gas behind this, but I thought he was going to be, like, 20 seconds faster. Nope, kind of the reverse. Leenock also supply blocked after losing that hatchery. He didn't go for the 20 Overlord. So that does hurt. That stings a little bit. He does immediately plant down the hatchery again and makes the Overlord from the 1 larva that was left over. That's exactly what Dark wanted. He got the hatchery, he got 2 drones. It's not really expected that it goes too much better at this high of a level. Leenock's gonna he's gonna have to make up for the drone losses, which is exactly what Dark is hoping for. A follow-up from here could have been easily, it could have been gasless. You know, wall off the front, go into a macro game. It could have been. but it seems like more popular lately has been following up any type of early pool with just a Ling Flood, where you intentionally hide the Lings here. So it's kind of funny. Dark's walling off with his Lings. Those are the ones that he already showed. So, like, Leenock is not getting any intel here. Which means these 6 drones are probably going to kill him. This Overlord now sees it, but there's not enough creeps here to get a wall, so another benefit to killing the hatchery. If the hatchery didn't die, there's a potential the wall's coming down, even if he killed a bunch of drones for it. But this just seems like really terrible news. Banelina's comes down, Spinecrawler comes down, but easily surroundable. Leenock, he gets such a cool win in game number 1, tries the easy win game number 2, and then it's actually Dark who Ling Floods him and gets the easy victory. GG. Dark takes the 2-1 and the first series of the day, but he lost the map. That could come back to impact him later on in this group. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there.